Reminder, the concession stand is open.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome in to Union Slow Pitch Softball here on the Union Sports Network. This is game 2 for the Union ladies this evening as they play host to the Owasso Lady Rams. Now, the Lady Rams come in ranked 8th in the 6A slow pitch standings and are fresh off a win over Pryor just moments ago. They'll extend their record, I believe, now to 11-8, if I'm not sadly mistaken. But it does also improve Union's record to 11-8 as they beat Pryor. Gosh, Andy, what was it? Maybe an hour and a half ago.
An hour and a half, yeah.
An hour and a half ago or so. So let's talk about it as I'm joined in by the one and only Andy Irwin. Game 2 tonight for these girls against a very good Lady Rams team who put up, I believe, 14 runs last game? 16 runs. Mr. Ford corrects me. I appreciate that. So we need to see more of the same of what we saw in Game 1.
Yeah. Seeing how Pryor was able to play with Owasso and that we handled Pryor fairly easily, I think it should give our girls some confidence that we can play with them as well. So just the same thing that we preach and teach before each broadcast is if we just do the little things right, no mistakes, no errors, we'll be in the ballgame.
So defensively for Coach Morgan's team, Four's their pitcher, Knight behind the plate, Dickerson, Owens, Franklin, and Magara, right to left, first, second, third, and shortstop. And then, of course, in the outfield, Mills, Sheldon, Hanson, Norman, as you guys are looking at home, from left field to right field. Wind still blowing out. It's clouded over a little bit more as the storms that we talked about in our first broadcast are starting to roll in. Quick out, number 1 there. Ford gets the ground out, easily handled by Owens over to Dickerson. There's one away.
Number 14, Holly Sanchez.
The wind is doing the same thing that it did in our first game. It's moving left to right on your screen, blowing out of the south. We're basically facing due west. And
thankful for the cloud cover.
Yes. Sun right now would be shining right into our faces and making it very difficult. So the cloud cover is welcome tonight.
Oh, and 2 now.
Big high pitch.
Swung on. Easily handled there by Franklin. Well, she bobbled it, actually, just a little bit. Well, it sure looked like she was just going to handle that with some ease.
That was one of those.
Catch that clean. Go ahead.
That was one of those pitches that, with an 0-2 count, JC put a lot of height on that one, and you saw the umpire hold his hand out as an illegal pitch. But the batter went ahead and swung at it and actually got it on with an infield hit.
So at the point that it's an illegal pitch, they don't have to swing at it. It's not counted as a ball or a strike in that case? Or
it would be a ball.
It was counted as a ball. Okay, fair enough.
But the batter doesn't see the umpire making the silent signal.
Right. Makes sense. And that's not the umpire's call to actually say anything.
Right.
Okay. So if you
batter still has to make judgment call whether or not they want to hit it or that it looks like a strike or not.
2-0. We're just underway here, top of the first. Owasso Lady Rams coming off their victory over Pryor, and Union fresh off their victory over the aforementioned Pryor kids as well. We appreciate them coming up here and playing a couple of games. I know they've seen this field a few times this season. That's stroke to left field off of Mills' glove and to the wall. Sheldon with the throw in, but Owasso will get a run out of that deal as Mills didn't quite play it well enough. Caromed off her glove to the wall, and Sheldon picked it up and threw it in.
Yeah, that was a line drive.
It was a well-hit ball.
Yeah. Very solid hit. 2 runs scored. Or 1 run scored, excuse me.
Yeah. 1 run across. Runners on second and third now. Only 1 run away, and so unfortunately, if we don't see our girls kind of tighten up and see some of the good defensive stuff that we saw in the first game, and that hits the runner. That runner's automatically out, and the runner that was at third will have to go back to third base. She will not get to score.
So we benefit from that. I mean, let's now take advantage of that. They gave us basically an out right there on when they should have had an RBI, and so let's get this third out and only one run damage.
Yeah, and runners at the corners, and this is where we've seen JC4 really kind of bear down and throw some good pitches. Stroke there into center.
Nothing you
Picked
can
up
do
there
about
by
that.
Sheldon, thrown quickly back in. No, and nothing you can do about that at all. Over the head of Franklin at short. And
Now batting, number 15, Sarah Campbell.
but I like it because we've still got a great opportunity to get out of this inning with 2 outs, only 2 runs across. And when we had 2 on and nobody out, the damage could be subsided a little bit. As the first pitch is over for a strike. That'll be inside. So I'm going to invite everybody, if you have not had a chance to come out and watch our girls play at this facility, or the boys, as it's nicely played by 4, over to first for the third out. We'll keep it right here. Andy, I can't say enough about the 2 fields that have been restructured, if you will, and laid out here for our kids to play on. It's a beautiful facility. And I really encourage everybody to come out and just – the weather's been great. Both teams are playing phenomenally well. I don't know a better time to come out and watch a softball or baseball game.
Yeah, we're heading right into the middle of spring sports in the middle of April, where the weather is unlike it is any time of the year. So find the girls' softball schedule, find the baseball schedule or soccer schedule. The facilities that our kids have an opportunity to play at are unmatched in the state of Oklahoma. As you're looking at the field here on the video that we have, they even had enough forethought to put 2 different colors of green turf in, so it looks like you have that mowed,
right,
fresh mowed grass. The brown is actually turf; it's not dirt. It looks that way on maybe on your mobile device as you're watching with us, but that is all turf, and so they don't have to do any maintenance after any game, and that's why they're able to start having these 3-way type of games, right, where you can invite 2 teams in, everybody gets 2 games, and they can get it in within like 4 hours, and in between each game they don't have to work on the field at all.
Right.
It's a perfect scenario.
Right. And it's great, and it's great to have. I think what's even great about it is having like Owasso and Pryor play here, letting other schools take advantage of what we have to offer, and it means a whole lot for this community. So it's awesome what our stakeholders have done, what our cabinet members have done from Charlie Bushy Head all the way through. It's great that this has all been put together. As that's well hit, and that's going to be off the glove of Harmon, and she'll reach with a stand-up triple. We'll see if an error gets charged there or not.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Right.
I think one of the outfielders just kind of overran it, and the other one.
And Grubbs and Harmon, and that was what I was going to ask you. Did it appear that maybe it's a little miscommunication there in the outfield, and they're going to go right back to the same spot? Grubbs back on it, and that's over her head. She wasn't too sure where the wall was, and that's to the wall. Boy, because she just stopped on that. I'm wondering if she thought it was gone.
Well, she was at the warning track and probably parked underneath it thinking she had a shot, but that's where you're getting an extra couple of feet of carry with the wind blowing the way it is out of the south, moving it left to right, and it just carried it just a little bit over her head.
Sheldon to center field. That's going to drop. Sheldon will get a base hit out of the deal as Green fumbles the routine fly ball, I think you could say. Probably something she should have had. And Maya's safely on. 2 runs across.
Yeah,
we're going to have a little meeting at the mound of everybody.
The Owasso coach, they had a good start with a 2-0 lead, and then they've come out and made 2 errors right off the bat, and uncharacteristic for a team like Owasso. But we need to take advantage of it, just as we have. More on for our left-handed batters who are able to hit the ball to right field. Just like in the prior game, it seems like every time we put a good stick on the ball to right field, we had a girl standing on third base.
Right.
And that's the same thing that just happened.
Right.
The 2 batters in front of Maya were standing on third base. So if we can keep playing the ball to that right field, taking advantage of that wind, it seems like good things are going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. And going back to what we were talking about earlier, the fact that we would love people to come out, and you said you need to find a schedule. Let me tell you, these girls are back in action right here Thursday as Veneta comes to town with the first pitch at 5 o'clock there. So the weather's, again, supposed to be beautiful. These storms that are rolling in tonight, according to Travis Meyer, are going to be gone well by Thursday. I believe the highs are in the 70s, and it's going to be another perfect night to watch the girls come out. So the girls play Thursday. You got soccer Friday. You can go to the soccer stadium and watch that, or you and Brandon McCombs will be streaming live on this Union Sports Network. Girls are at 6, boys are at 8. And then boys baseball, Saturday at noon. We won't be streaming that, but I'll be there for that. Saturday at noon, the boys get to play baseball. So the next 3 out of the 4 next days are going to be wonderful for Union Sports. And I know track's doing something, I just don't remember what it is.
Yeah, they're right in the middle of track season,
Yeah.
so you can bet that they've got a track meet somewhere on Friday or Saturday.
Yep. You can go watch A.J. Green break all kinds of records before he runs off to Arkansas and probably leads them to another national championship. Saw the Razorbacks track team on it.
They're always good.
Yeah. And it's a wonder why you wonder why AJ's going there. That boy can.
Well, a lot of people think it's more for football, but
Right.
I can guarantee you with the speed he has, they're going to utilize him on the Arkansas Razorback track team.
And, I was fortunate enough to have AJ in class last year, and it always seemed to me that was what he really wanted to do, I think, was run track more than it was to run football. I mean, the wear and tear is going to be a lot less on you, especially at the Division I level, well, at any level as a running back, as that's fouled away just over the Owasso dugout. 2-2, 0-2 now. 2 outs, runner on first. But A.J., one remarkable young man and great to have. I've been pretty blessed to have some pretty phenomenal athletes in my class.
Get down, ball.
And that's going to fall over the head. Sending the runner. No play, though. And Union takes a 3-2 lead.
That's some heads-up base running there. Because we took second there and the throw had to come into second, that allowed that runner to come in home and kind of sneak a run in there that maybe we shouldn't have had.
Right. Yeah, because if that throws to the plate, but they didn't. They didn't even look to throw home, which was interesting. Now, she may not have the arm. Grubbs may not have the arm like a Maya Sheldon may have.
Right.
2-0. Swung on, hit the opposite field, and if that gets down, that's an extra base. To the wall, it's going to get by Harmon. And this will be an inside the park home run. Throw comes home.
There.
Safe.
Wow.
Nice base running.
That's a long way around the bases.
That is a long way around the base. I tell you what, but Norman turned on the Jets.
Well, the last 2 balls out to the outfield got huge bounces, and obviously there is some rubber in this turf, and so the teams who maybe haven't played on turf before, it's going to take a little getting used to. And I know Owasso obviously has played on turf before, but it's just something you got to be aware of on fly balls that hit the ground. They're going to bounce.
Right. I remember, Little League days, it was always keep it in front of you. No matter where you are, keep it in front of you. And I'm not going to say it bounced over her head, but if she was more in front of that ball, I think she probably could have knocked it down and kept Norman to maybe a triple. But Norman was flying around the pads.
Well,
that's for sure.
it was a perfect piece of hitting because she took an outside pitch, took it down the right field line, and I know those of you watching at home can't see down the lines, but that ball was probably maybe a meter inside the line and just went all the way to the corner. And, you know, she's standing on second by the time the outfielder even gets to the ball, and just with her speed, outraced it for a run.
So for those of you that are not from Canada, a meter is a measure of
3 feet?
Yeah, ish. I would have said a yard or two, but I don't know. For our Canadian listeners, it's within a meter or so.
I could have said a yard. I could have said a foot. I could have said a meter, and it was a fair ball. So I think everybody understood that.
Okay. Just checking.
I'm here to give you a hard time. It's not the other way around.
Yes, sir. My apologies. Back to baseball now, or softball.
Softball.
Yeah, softball, sure. Or why not? Baseball is easy.
Right center fielder, number 12, Lily Hance.
Hance steps to the plate here.
Courtesy runner for the catcher, number 11, Shania James.
This is an awesome 2-out rally. We've done most of the damage this inning with 2 outs. If you can get that, take it every time.
Lily Hance steps in, batting .286. Runners on first and second. If you're just tuning in, you missed a gem by Tensia Norman. She got an inside the park home run off a blooper that went over the right fielder Harmon's head and was able to make it all the way around the bases to get this team up 5-2. So we're going to take a break. After a message from Canes, Owasso comes up on the Union Sports Network.
Hey, Chief, have you heard about the new Canes? You got anything to eat around here?
You hungry, huh? No, I'm not. What is cane?
Yes, sir. Someone said that you had canes in the building.
I don't have canes. I don't know what
All right,
canes
do you
is.
think we can get some cane? Do we need a cane alert?
We need a cane alert.
Cane alert at the main desk, UCA. Cane alert at the main desk.
We have a code canes? Code canes! Did I just hear code canes? I got a canes alert.
All right. Thank you very much.
What we got here? A 3-piece?
A 3-piece and coleslaw.
Excellent. All right, dig in. I'll let you go first. All right, thank you very much.
I must say, tasty.
It's real good.
Definitely.
Thanks to Canes for that commercial. We appreciate them so very much, everything that they do for our students. And I know our students reciprocate quite a bit. My son's a Caniac, if you will. Swung on.
Hey, Chief, have you heard about the new Canes?
That's going to be
You got
over the
anything to
wall
eat
and
around
gone.
You hungry, huh? No, I'm not. What is cane?
Boy, that
Yes,
hit
sir.
the
Someone
top of
said
the
that
wall.
you had
And
canes in the
they
building.
got a little
I don't
help
have
from the
canes.
wind,
I
and
don't
it
know
was
what canes
out
Do
of
you think we
here.
can get some cane? Do we need a cane alert?
We need a cane alert.
Cane
As
alert at
Hance
the main
watched
desk,
it go, she was
UCA.
ready for it
Cane
to
alert
tear
at
him
the
off
main
the wall,
desk.
and it just
We
caught
have
the
a code
top of the
canes?
wall.
Code canes! Did I just hear code canes?
And quickly, Owasso gets back a run. This Owasso team can flat stroke the softball pretty well. 1-0 now. Base hit. Played there by Mills, and she'll get it back in to Franklin.
Now batting, number 2, Caitlin Grossman.
So no outs. Runner on first after a home run by Owasso cut this lead, Union's lead, to 2, 5-3. But we're just in the top of the second. Stroke to center field. Cut off nicely there by Sheldon.
Wow.
And no shot there. Their third base coach was quick to throw up his hands as soon as he realized that Maya Sheldon had that ball, and She got it in on one hop.
Well, and where that play was made was her hustle to the ball, because if she doesn't get to that ball, that runner at second probably scores there.
So nice hustle there by the senior. Wouldn't expect anything less out of her. Now that's going to be well hit. Hance underneath it. She'll grab it, and no tag or throw, as she had a nice throw back in. Quickly got it back into the shortstop, and, you know, now one out. Runners at first and second, a little bit better. Pop fly there. Back on their horse. That's going to fall. Bodies kind of collide out there as Owens, Sheldon, and Hance kind of came together, and Sheldon's going to bring it all the way back in. And Owens is not happy with herself.
Give her a minute to catch her breath from going down. That's one of those situations, obviously, with the wind blowing out to right field, those outfielders are playing deep. So a little flare like that the infielder can't get to, there's a lot of room in between the infielders and outfielders over on that right side.
Now, with playing with 4 outfielders, Andy, who do you want making that call as that thing is smoked? That's deep and gone. That is long gone. That will clear the bases in a grand slam. And unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of that home run, but that was well hit. And nothing anybody can do about that, as Mills and Sheldon both watched that thing just sail. I don't think either one of them took about a step and realized it was long gone. But let's go back to the play earlier that kind of set that whole thing up. With 4 outfielders, who do you want calling for that ball? Traditionally, you got a shortstop, you got a center fielder that kind of run in your infield besides the catcher. With 4 outfielders, who do you want?
It just depends where that ball is located. It was right over the second baseman's head, so that would have been the right center fielder. Maya's just so fast that she's
getting underneath.
She's on her horse and getting there.
And there she is again.
Yeah, she's the center fielder of this team. She calls everybody off. She's kind of letting everybody know who and what to go where.
Sure. Now Tallman strokes one out there. Norman's, it's over her head. It caroms off the wall, and Norman can't seem to find the handle. She'll throw it in, but a triple for Owasso. And the floodgates have opened now for the Lady Rams after some miscues.
Number 19, Carson Holson.
Yeah.
And again, you could talk about the win. Go ahead.
Well, one of the things we wanted to stay away from, they obviously have a few girls that have some big bats. I mean, for that grand slam would go against, and this one may be gone too.
Right, and it is. Yep. Yes. So
just to the right of the batter's eye.
Our green monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's another foot to the left or meter to the left, it's hitting the wall and staying in the park.
Right. And quickly, that 3-run lead for Union is now a 4-run deficit off a grand slam and then a 2-run homer. And you're absolutely right. Those girls got some bats.
Yeah, those are no small pokes
to
get over the fence into this win.
No, not at all. Not at all. And another base hit, and you can see it in JC4, the way she kind of slapped at that ball. She's kind of getting frustrated with herself. But it's not, she's throwing strikes. These girls are just connecting.
Well, it's slow pitch softball. That's not on the pitcher.
Right.
I mean, she can try and place the ball inside or outside according to where she wants them to hit the ball. But you got girls that can hit the ball like Owasso can. I mean, you're just putting it over the plate and hoping your defense makes plays.
Makes plays, absolutely. Sheldon there to cut off the base hit. Hold the runner up at second.
This is one of those rhythm innings for Owasso where the big hitters are hitting it over and the base hitters are getting the base hits, and they're just kind of rolling right now.
Right. But just as easy. We're not going to hit a ton of home runs like Owasso is, but we've seen Union put up 14, 15, 16 runs against great Broken Arrow teams. They just scored 11 or 12, whatever it was against Pryor earlier tonight. So it's not for there's some offense to be had for this team. We just need to probably stop the bleeding at this point and get the next out. And that next out needs to come here pretty quick. That'll be inside. Walk it, base is full.
Now batting, number 2, Caitlin Grossman.
Grossman steps to the plate.
This is just, those scenarios. If they get a base hit, they get a base hit. But we got to make sure that if we can make a play on a ball, we're not making a mistake in getting the out and getting out of the inning.
Good. Ooh. Good pitch there. Just called a ball, though. 2-0. Swung on. Bobbled a little bit there. Not in time. Boy, and Franklin bobbled the ball, and she was really frustrated. As soon as it came out of her hand, she bobbled it, and you could tell she had lost it, and she was completely frustrated with what happened.
Yeah, I just think that has a lot to do with it's a big inning.
Mm-hmm.
They're tired of being out there in the field and ready to come in, and just had a mind lapse for half a second, and
that happens again.
Cost a run, and it cost us getting out of the inning. And
there we go, back out of there.
Got her.
A nice job there by Knight to gun her down after a great throw in by Sheldon and some base running mistakes by Owasso. And Coach is going to have a little conversation with her. Not happy about the base running there. But Owasso puts up 9. It's 11-5. We'll take a quick timeout. You're watching Union Softball on the Union Sports Network. Sydney Owens stepped to the dish after a 9-run inning by Owasso after a grand slam and then a 2-run homer kind of opened it up, Andy. It's time for a Union, to get their bats going. Now, they're not going to get them going like that, but singles help.
Ball back at one time. Here's one of our lefties, so I look for her to pull the ball down the line, get on base, single, maybe a double. And then, as we've talked about before, it's always more fun to be a batter when there's runners on base. That's going to carry.
It's hit deep, but it's nicely played there by Green, and there'll be one away.
Number 14, Monica Franklin.
Franklin steps in and see if she can up that 585 average that she's got. She'll take a ball. Well, we got a second to mention. Union tennis team will host a tennis tournament this Saturday starting at 8 a.m. That'll run all day. So our facility is located right here at 75th and Garnett. I'd like to come out and see the likes of Sloan French and Emily Ludwig, Harry Wilson or Kaylee Willis, and that's down the line foul. And all the other tennis team folks, girls and boys alike. The tournament starts at 8 a.m. That's this Saturday morning. Right here at another beautiful facility we have, Andy, and that's the tennis courts. That's well hit.
Go ball.
And that is gone.
Home run.
Big run, and you're right. We're not going to get it all at one heave, but for a team that's not known for hitting a long ball, that was definitely stroked very, very well.
Yeah.
And Monica Franklin took care of it.
We really would have liked to have had that leadoff be on base, take more advantage of that. The pitch right before that was an inside pitch, and she swung at it, and you saw her dribble it down the line. She wanted an inside pitch, carry ball.
Maya's Sheldon will carry hers to center field. Green will catch that and throw that in.
Your pitcher, number 3, JC 4.
Now 4 steps in, and she could help herself out. But with 2 outs, she'll want to extend the inning a little bit here, I would think, for not only herself but her teammates as well, as they spent a long time out. Nicely grabbed there by Holson. And just as I say that, Owasso gets out of the inning. So 1 run on 1 hit. That 1 hit was a home run. Nobody left on base. 11-6, Owasso on top, and they're coming up after this.
For more than 50 years, Central States Orthopedics and Eastern Oklahoma Orthopedic Center have been the area's leading orthopedic and sports medicine providers. And now, we've joined forces as Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. One name, one focus. Excellent orthopedic and sports medicine care. Together, we serve as the team physicians for almost every high school and university in the region. We are the area's leading expert for work-related injuries, and our surgical hospital is the only 5-star rated hospital in Tulsa. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Come see why we're better together.
Ali Sanchez steps to the plate for Owasso. And Union finds themselves in a 5-run deficit here as we start the top of the third. JC Ford throws the first pitch in, and it's a ball, so it's 1-0. Thanks for joining us on the Union Sports Network. We're going to get to all the action that we're going to bring to you this week, which includes 2 soccer games. The girls and boys both will play Friday night. We'll get to more of that information here in a little bit. 3-0 now. 4's got to find the plate, and she won't there. And four pitches and base on balls.
Now batting, number 16, Lily Shaw.
Yeah, JC's got to keep her demeanor positive and strong here. She's a little down, didn't get a hit last at bat, and then 4 straight balls.
And that's popped out. Nicely handled there by Mills. So if we can get some pop flies and we can get, and the walk doesn't hurt us, then maybe JC can kind of calm down, get her teammates back in the dugout, and we can go to work. A lot of softball left, I should say, up the middle. Base hit. They won't run on Sheldon's arm, but super important to limit the damage in this inning.
Yep, got to make the plays. We need a short inning here. That will help our mental side of the game.
So 2 on, 1 out. And that ball is hit well, and it's gone. And Owasso has opened the floodgates, Mr. Irwin.
Well, I said earlier in the night I didn't think we'd see very many, if any, home runs to the left field fence.
Right.
And Owasso doesn't seem to be having a problem with that.
Right. I don't think they heard you, probably, is what they weren't listening to the telecast earlier, so they didn't know. That's well hit, base hit. Cut off there by Mills, and she'll get it back in.
You hear coaches say all the time, hit it where they ain't, and that's what Owasso is doing right now.
Yep.
No matter how we play, no matter how we shift, no matter how we pitch inside or out, they're just finding the holes, and that's, as for a defense, it doesn't get any more frustrating than that.
Right. And I've noticed there's not a whole lot of shifting going on. There's one to short.
It's turn 2.
Over to Franklin. There's one. Didn't turn it in time. Owens couldn't get it, but they do get the lead runner. So that is 2 outs.
Ball seemed to get caught a little bit in Franklin's glove.
Right.
Got to get rid of it very quickly if you're ever going to turn one.
And that's going to be hit down the right field line, foul. And I can't help but think that if Franklin's going back to the bobble that she made in the last inning, that kind of didn't help anything at all. Kept everybody on, and you wonder if you got to be forgetful in a position like this. Nice job by Owens to make that snag, and we're out of the inning. But what do you tell the kids? You raised 2, I've raised 1. What do you tell the kids when they get into a funk like that? Even better yet, you being the athlete that you were all the way through college, what did you mentally do when you weren't throwing the ball well, or the plays that were being called in weren't going the way you wanted them to do? What did you do to yourself?
Well, you've just got to have the mental fortitude to stay positive. Me being a quarterback, I knew that the team win as I win, so I always had to stay positive, stay as a team leader. We've seen the pros do that. The Tom Brady's. He's the cheerleader on the field all the time. He doesn't get to take a play off and get mad at something and let the team get down from that. I don't think Union's playing poorly.
Right.
I just think Owasso, they're hitting it where we're not. They've got quite a few, 3 home runs
They've got
already?
3 home runs, so those 3 home runs have scored 4, 6, 8 runs.
This isn't like, baseball where that's on the pitcher when he gives up home runs because he's throwing it right down the middle.
Right.
Their bats are working right now, so we just have to remain positive, get some base runners out there and move them along.
Right. There's Mills, quickly hit second. Sanchez will get the first quick out. And that's I would think at this point for Coach Morgan to tell his girls, let's take a couple of pitches, let's slow this down.
Yep.
Because they're swinging at the first pitch.
Going to make for quick innings.
Yeah, very quick inning, and that's not – you want to give JC some rest to get her mental state back to where it needs to be, and really all the girls for that matter.
Yeah, because if we run back out there in 3 minutes and have to play defense again, it's
not going to bode well.
Mentally tough.
Swung on, hit to Campbell, pick it up there and gun her out, and quickly.
She's got a pretty good gun on her as well.
2 away. It's Tensia Norman.
Now let's see if that right fielder remembers who she is.
Right.
And she doesn't seem to be playing it any different.
Nope.
So if she gets the right outside pitch, let's see if she takes it a meter off the line.
A meter off the line. And if she does, let's see if she plays it right. And Norman.
See, I see T-shirts. A meter off the line.
Meter off the line. It'd be great, Emily Barkley, if you're listening. Swung
she tried.
On. She tried right there. Yep.
See, that's the thing that when trying for right-handed batters, when trying to take it to right field, it's very easy to get under the ball and put that spinner on it and fly out a lot of times to to first base or second base.
Right. Inside.
She didn't
3
want
and
that.
1.
Didn't want that inside pitch.
Nope. And that's a good eye, and this is a good bat, and this is the kind of bat I would have liked to see out of the first 2. Give the kids some times. She gets the walk out of the deal. So Norman will walk.
That's a stellar at-bat. She was looking the whole time for an outside pitch, and pitcher started coming inside, and she laid off of them. They happened to be balls, and she ends up on base.
Now you got to make this count here. And if anything, even if an out comes out of this at-bat, you've at least given the players a little more time to sit in the dugout. That's outside ball 2.
Just take this one right back up the middle.
It's going to be inside for ball 3. Oh, I lied. That was a strike. Okay. There I am second-guessing umpires again. Swung on. Pop fly. Campbell makes the play. And we're through 3. Owasso's coming up. Up by 8. 4th inning up next.
Finding your happy place is something special, and it's different for everyone. You probably already know where to find yours, and TTCU Federal Credit Union can help you get there. Right now, you can earn up to a $200 bonus when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. So wherever your happy place finds you, TTCU will meet you there. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Leading off for Owasso, number 8, Abby Harmon.
Harmon steps to the dish right now, and quick meeting on the mound as JC4's infielders are probably in there saying, okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3 inning, let's get out of this, and let's get back. Back to batting around. 14-6, Owasso on top after 3 home runs, crossed 8 across the plate for them, Andy, and you said it earlier. You didn't think they were going to be able to hit the long ball tonight, but Owasso didn't get that memo.
You know, these girls have played a lot of softball. They know that as quickly as it can come, it can go away. So if we can have a 3-up, 3-down inning, get back in the dugout, get some runs scored. So it can happen just that quick. Just never know when it's going to happen.
2-2. Squibbler there, foul. And that would be strike 3.
Now batting, number 2.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You wouldn't expect this team that's hitting all these home runs and all these base hits for one of their good batters to not even be able to put the ball into play, and we get an out of it.
Right.
So let's capitalize.
Right. Hit, and that'll be a base hit. Hance plays it back into Owens, and runner on for Owasso.
Number 10, Emily Green.
Now again, a time to capitalize.
So we shift a little bit here. You see everyone moving to the right.
Swung on.
Turn
Hit
it
to
yourself.
Franklin. There's one. Didn't get the turn. Owens couldn't get over there, but they did get the lead runner again, and that was played much cleaner from Franklin. Owens just couldn't, I don't think, get her body turned around.
Yeah, that was right on the border. I don't know if I'd rather would have seen Franklin make that play herself as she's running toward first base. And there's another home run.
And there's another home run. So 4 home runs for Owasso.
And that one just seemed like an effortless home run.
Right.
It is the opposite field, and the ball just carried and carried.
Yep.
And was out of here.
Well, and I noticed it got up in a hurry. It didn't get out in a hurry, but it got up in a hurry. So I'm wondering, the higher it goes, we can still see that flag just, and you guys can't see it at home, but that flag is standing straight up right now. And any balls hit out there, if you get them up a little bit, like that one was, it's going to carry out. 1-1. JC's just got to find herself here and know that there's not a lot she can do about it right now. She comes inside. 2-1 now.
Well, her part's just to get him over the plate. She doesn't want to be putting runners on with walks. Golly.
That stepped into that, and that's another home run. 5 home runs now on the evening. And so the next time you and I do this, there's no talk about how I don't think there's going to be any home runs hit because the wind's blowing too hard.
Well, this is slow pitch softball. Home runs are a big part of slow pitch softball.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just didn't see them do this against Pryor.
No, we did not. Not at all.
That was a very competitive game, and they were not hitting home runs that game. Job, JC.
Hit back by JC. JC4 throws it over there. And she threw that over there kind of hard, pretty emphatically, as a matter of fact. We'll take a timeout here. Owasso's up by 11. Union coming to the plate. Welcome back.
Leading off for Union, number 21, Carissa Knight.
Bottom of the fourth, Knight steps in. Big deficit here for Coach Morgan's squad. But again, you said it, one hit at a time. There's plenty of opportunities. Owasso's found plenty of holes. Now, they've hit 5 home runs on the afternoon and early evening, but we're not known for that, so base hits are good, and they'll score runs eventually. We'd love to see Owasso come up with some mental mistakes as well and help our cause.
Ooh.
2-2.
I liked her taking that pitch. Looked a little inside.
Back, swung on. Picked up there by Campbell and over to Shaw. One away.
Yeah, that's just tough to take an outside pitch and pull it. You really, if they give you an outside pitch, you really have to go with it. And in slow pitch, you got enough time to adjust to do that as the ball is coming in. Mm-hmm. You're just not going to get many hits pulling an outside pitch.
Well, and you said something about it when you played softball, was especially slow pitch, church leagues, that kind of stuff. You would almost move yourself in the batter's box while the ball was coming into you to kind of adjust what was being thrown to you.
Yeah. There's a lot of ball placement. And, you know, these girls are still learning that, learning to be able to do that with what physically they can do and what they can't do.
2-1 now. Hand step in. Sydney Owens is on deck for Coach Morgan's squad. We appreciate you joining us on the Union Sports Network. Friday night, you can catch the girls and boys team as soccer team as they host Sand Springs. Girls start at 6, boys start at 8. Andy Irwin will set up the production, and you'll get to listen to Brandon McCombs.
Second baseman, number 1, Sydney Owens.
For a soccer team that's, I don't want to say they've underachieved this year, but there's definitely some teams that they should have capitalized on.
Our district is very competitive, but they put on a good show, both the boys and girls. Very enjoyable to watch. So come on out to the 8th grade center in that soccer complex and enjoy a night of soccer, of football.
If you can't get out, right here, Union Sports Network, again, 6 and 8 o'clock. If you want to get out and get tickets, there's a well-hit ball. That's deep and not deep enough, and that'll be 2 away. If you want tickets and you want to go, what you need to do is follow Union Athletics on Twitter at Union_athletics for ticket information, or call 918-357-7410 for more information about tickets. So 2 outs, runner on first.
Now, the way the other Owasso's balls have flown out, I would have thought that would have been closer to going out.
Right.
It just seemed like the wind knocked that one down rather than carrying.
Yeah, as opposed to carrying the couple that we've seen hit out that way. One off the top of the fence, and then that one that I think is still stuck in that evergreen out there.
Better the evergreen than on 169.
Absolutely. So at this point right here, Union needs to get a couple on the board here to stay alive as a strike's called. $11-run deficit with 2 outs, full count, runner on first. I'd be sending the runner and trying to get things going. There's a smash right to Sanchez, and nicely grabbed there. And I believe that is the ball game. So 4 innings in the books here. Owasso takes out Union 17-6 on 5 home runs. That scored about 10 or 11 of those runs, if I'm not sadly mistaken. But Union improves the night, going from 10-8 to 11-9 now. So not too bad.
Yeah, you just want to get games in right now, get as much experience as possible. And, again, we could have just played a doubleheader with Pryor, but having these try games, you're able to see more than one team and get a little more experience out there.
So don't forget, their next broadcast, you'll get to watch soccer Friday night as Union hosts Sand Springs. The girls are at 6, the boys are at 8. So join Andy Irwin and Brandon McCombs right here on the Union Sports Network. And for all of us at Union Athletics and Union Public Schools, we appreciate you watching. Have a great night, everybody.